prime place, very small, and the prime place to grow Malbec in the first zone. So the Malbec from here is very prestigious. Already know.
Wow, your plot goes pretty far back.
Well, and this one is a typical view of Mendoza. You know that vineyards were brought into America by the immigrants, the European immigrants. So here on our right hand side we have the French system, and on our left hand side we have the Italian system, and also the olives trees, the olive tree.
Yes.
That were also introduced into Argentina by the immigrants. If you want to be in the picture, let me know.
Okay.
Also Malbec, but in this case it's an old Malbec of about 100 years old. The trailing system is the same one, it's VSPA, but in this case it's lower because it's an antique system. And what I'm going to show you here is another kind of artificial propagation that is called mugrones, or layering in English. As we have an amazing quality here, from this vineyard we produce the Rosé of Malbec, and also a small part of the Ultra Malbec, that is a premium line. We want to keep having the same quality, and as it is an old vineyard, we sometimes lose a plant because many reasons in a row. To keep having the same quality, what we are going to do is during winter we are going to take the longest shooting, put it underground. This shooting is going to develop its own roots, and next year we are going to have an individual plant, but it's not going to be as individual because this the mother, let's say the mother, is going to keep feeding the new plant for a while, maybe 2 years. But after 2 years we are going to cut the link, and we, in this case, we are going to get an individual plant with the same genetical material as the previous one.
As the mother, yeah.
So we keep the same
So this
quality.
is growing a new plant here, right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And later
This
you'll
is-
cut
this
it.
is it.
Yes, we are going to cut.
What was the bud terminal, when you put it below the soil, becomes a root terminal. So the root gone down, as you see what's coming, and this year, in fact probably this year, he can cut the umbilical cord.
Oh, so this one came from this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Came from here.
And well, here, have you ever heard about phylloxera?
No.
It's a well, it was a disease. It is an American disease that
Boo us.
yeah, that was introduced into Europe at the end of the 70s.
Well, it was more than 100 years ago. It was the first attack. It's
Mold
Yeah,
or
in
something?
19,
in Europe.
Yeah,
1870, 1880.
and well, this disease almost devastated all the European vineyards. But the American gave the disease and also the cure, because they realized that there were some plants, some vineyards in America that weren't affected by this disease. So they took the rootstock of these plants into Europe, and they grafted the European variety into this American root. So
The French got very short memories. About 150 years ago, a group of Californian winemakers had gone to France, and a group of 11 Chilean families who'd made their money from either beef or cattle. Cattle or mining. And 11 families, they went to France, and both the Californians and the Chileans went back home with French rootstock, French technology, French know-how, French everything. And there was a sort of birth, shall we say, of the modern wine industry. You've heard that the ancient wine industry came in by the Spanish conquistadors, because the Vatican ordered the Spanish court to send priests to convert the heathens, and the priests, who are never slow as we know, they said, aha, we need wine for communion. And so they first people. But the modern wine industry in both Argentina, shall we say, and pretty much in America as well, is about 150 years old, right? And this is slightly less for us when the Italians really came. But the important thing is, as you've just heard Lucia say, that the majority of Europe was devastated and wiped out by the phylloxera, right? And it was both America, California, and Chile that gave disease-resistant rootstock back to the French to help them to recover. But of course, you're not going to get a Frenchman today who's going to admit that. But in fact, France exists today because of the help they got from both America and with the disease-resistant, those roots which had not been affected, as you heard, by phylloxera, and so therefore we knew they were resistant to phylloxera. Phylloxera eats the root. It's a wipeout.